So kicking off the eyeshadow palette collection slash declutter. This is the first drawer. We're going to go ahead and get into these and see what I'm keeping, what I'm not keeping. And I have decided that with my eyeshadow palettes, I think I am going to either put them on Poshmark or Macari. Probably the drugstore ones I will be putting as like groups, lots, I guess. Either way. So that way I can try to make some of my money back on them and I can continue to actually purchase things rather than giving them away this time. I know some of them are already spoken for from my family, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and just jump into this because I don't want it to be super, super long. This drawer right here is completely jam-packed. There is nothing else going in this drawer. This is what I'm saying, like, I have to get rid of some stuff. The reality of it is that I do have to get rid of some of my palettes. I do have two large drawers dedicated to my eyeshadow palettes, and I've tried rearranging every which way I can to make them all fit, and they don't all fit. I know there are some that I just don't reach for anymore. So let's make some room for some new products that I want to purchase or just having some kind of organization in my life. Okay, so these are not in any order whatsoever. It's kind of just like how they were thrown in my drawer, trying to, make space however way I could. I know when we get to the larger eyeshadow palettes, those are even more of a mess. So I do apologize. But starting off, this is a larger palette because it wouldn't fit in the other drawer. The BH Cosmetics Aurora Lights palette. These are the baked eyeshadows. Look how beautiful. I know I was on the fence about this with my last declutter, but I have been reaching for this a lot more. What I do is I do one or two of these shades, and then I just grab a single black matte and use that on my outer corner. And these turn out absolutely beautiful. I don't know exactly how many I will be swatching, but I do want to, they're eyeshadow. You have to swatch a little bit. They're gorgeous, and I'm going to go ahead and keep this one. Okay, moving along, we have the LA Girl. Let's see here. Keep It Playful. This one, if you've seen my last haul video, this is brand new to my collection. It is really, really pretty. I do seem to be reaching for this quite a bit. And these are so good. They really are. These are a little bit on the chunkier side, but they are just super glittery and sparkly and beautiful. And then the regular shimmers, these, look how gorgeous those are. So I am absolutely keeping this one. Newer to my collection, very affordable, really enjoying. This one right here, Fireside Eyeshadow Palette by, I'm not even sure how to pronounce that. IB Beauty, maybe. I do like the packaging on this. I think there are other variations of this, but this is what it looks like right here. It is basically a neutral palette, a little bit of a warmer one, but it does have this pop of green here. And then these two shades are very, very nice. I don't reach for it a lot, probably because it does get pushed in the back with all the other ones that, just don't get a lot of use. If I declutter some, maybe I will revisit some and just fall in love. I really need to slow down my buying and use what I have, what I love. So I'm really hoping these declutters that I've been doing, that is the goal, to use what I love in my collection. So I am going to go ahead and keep this. I think it's going to be great for the fall, as well as just these neutrals are great anytime. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this one. I will be putting up what I'm keeping and what I'm decluttering throughout the video, as long as I can keep track. That way we can, see where I'm at. I have this palette here. I do love that it's like a full palette of pressed glitters. I got this for Halloween. I wanted to do like a mermaid look. I used it for Halloween, and that was it. It's called Dance Obsessed. I am going to go ahead and declutter this. I do have other palettes now that have pressed glitters, and honestly, these weren't a great formula, and I don't need a whole palette dedicated to pressed glitters. I just don't use them that much. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. We have the LA Girl Wonderlust eyeshadow palette. Now this one, it does have quite a unique color story to it, but it's just not something I'm vibing with. So for that reason, I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. This NYX eyeshadow palette, this is, I believe, the only NYX palette I own. This is Mystic Petals. Let me see here. In Dark Mystic. This one, the color story drew me in, but I just don't like these shadows. I think they are like really, really dry. And like even the shimmers, they're just not, I mean, they're just not something that I like at the moment. I just don't like them. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter that one. I do have two from Profusion. This one here is the Emeralds. And if you guys are looking for an inexpensive eyeshadow palette, these are the way to go. I love these. This green one is definitely something I am keeping. Look how pretty. I really like this palette. So I am going to go ahead and keep the emeralds. And then the mauves here. This, again, it is very pretty. I really like this shade right here. But as you'll see as we continue, I have a Natasha Denona palette that I will reach for definitely over this one. So for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. I believe I'm doing so good right now. I have this one by We Are Fluid? I have no idea. Either way, it's called Otherworldly. And this is just a basic neutral palette, a warm neutral palette. It does have this pop of green, which is why originally I was going to keep it. But then it does have this pressed glitter as well. But I'm not going to reach for this. I'm just not. So go ahead and declutter it. I feel in a good mood today, guys. I think today is the day that I really am just going to clear out stuff that I'm not using. Okay, so I do have these ones. I did do a video on these. There is 3 of them. My daughter already has one of them, and she used it for her own little palette. But these are very good quality for the price of these. They are very, very inexpensive. But I'm not reaching for them. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter all 3 of them, actually. Up next, we're going to go ahead and do some color pop. This is the Going Coconuts palette. This palette is not going anywhere. This is a very, very beautiful, beautiful palette. If you like neutrals, they do have like the Super Shocks. Definitely keeping this one. We have the Star Wars Mandalorian palette right here. Definitely keeping this one. I really love the tones of this. I reach for this quite often, so I'm keeping this. The Baby Got Peach by ColourPop. I'm going to go ahead and keep this one as well. Again, like the tones. And of course, it's ColourPop. Their quality is amazing. Up next, I do have all 3 of the Disney palettes, and I am going to keep all 3 of these. I'm going to go ahead and open them up so you know what they look like. This one right here, these do have the shade names on the back as well. This one right here is the Misunderstood palette. This is like the villains. Hopefully this holographic background doesn't throw it completely off. Absolutely beautiful, stunning. I love all of these palettes. Another reason why I'm not getting rid of them. but it is a trio and I don't want to break them up. So this one is the designer collection. It has all of the princesses. So beautiful. ColourPop does know how to do packaging. Again, beautiful color story. It has all the names of the princesses. And then this one is the Midnight Masquerade. This one has unique shaping of the actual palette. Super beautiful. And it looks like this. And then you also have all the princesses up here. Super gorgeous, stunning. Sometimes these can get a little patchy, but you just got to go very slow with them and build them up. So I am keeping all three of those. This one right here by Pat McGrath. This is the Rose Decadence palette, I believe. I really think the packaging is super beautiful. I did get this on a very large discount. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have bought it. But let me see here. This color story, it is not something that I reach for all the time. Because again, I do have the, I just said it. She's a whiz. The Natasha Denona palette that does have these tones. But this is the only palette that I do have by her. So I think I am going to keep this for a little bit longer. I have this BH palette right here, the Switzerland palette. And the tones in this are absolutely beautiful. This is newer, so I'm going to go ahead and keep this one. I do have this one by BH Cosmetics as well. This is the Flower Power collection. Well, the palette. I did get the collection, which I didn't hear anybody talking about this. I love this. I love the packaging. My mom always told me that I was born at the wrong time. But I love the purples, love the pinks, love that it's like carried out with these beautiful neutrals. And these pans are so adorable. I'm keeping this one. And then I have this one right here. This I did get free with purchase. I love the packaging of this. It just brings so much summer vibes. This one again has the smaller pans. And I think I'm going to keep this one too. Something about these small pans, just, I like it. You can get your brush in there perfectly. And it's neutrals. And then all these beautiful, this purple right here. It is so pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this one too. And then I do have this beautiful sparkly palette from BH. This one, it does have warm tones and cool tones to it. And the pigment on this, it's really good. It is really good. I'm going to go ahead and keep this one too, because I do actually reach for this one quite a bit. This shade right here, it's pretty unique. It's almost like a duochrome. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this one too. This one, I don't even know what it's called. Fairy Lights. Keeping this one. BH has some very good quality shadows. I did pick up the Amethyst palette for February. This is the only one out of the Birthstone collection that I did purchase. And honestly, I think I'm going to end up decluttering this one. To me, this just is not cohesive enough. It's got a pressed glitter that I'm really not going to reach for. I don't like how this one's like huge and the rest are small. I just don't reach for it. So for that reason, it's time to go. Now this palette, I do have mixed emotions about. This is from Game Beauty. This is the Fantasy palette. Now, the artwork on this, it is so gorgeous. I love that they mixed video games with palettes. Absolutely adore it. I love the packaging. I love the size. It does have a mirror in it. And now the color story. I did do a review on this, and at first I was like obsessed with it. This right here was the only dud, but now it's like, it does take quite a bit to build these up. And this shade is just really, really pretty. But do I really need to keep it for that shade? I do like this shade too, but this one is really crumbly. I'm going to put this in the maybe pile. I do have this one from Musée Beauty, Triumph of Venus. I did just recently get this. It is a beautiful color story, amazing quality. So I'm definitely keeping this one. It's staying with me. I have this one right here from Bad Habits. Now, Bad Habits is no longer here. I really wish the brand was still here because I loved their palettes. I did declutter quite a few of them on my last declutter. I will link my last declutter down below for you guys if you want to check it out. But this is the Fantasia palette. As you see, this is very well loved. Well, it was. I haven't reached for this in quite a while. But these shades right here, this yellow and this green, oh my gosh. Let me just like fully show you the yummy goodness of these. Like, oh my gosh, these are some stunning shades. You can't get this anymore. So I think I'm still going to just go ahead and hold on to it just because I do still reach for it. Yeah, I'm not going to fight myself. I am doing very good at getting rid of stuff, so I'm not going to fight myself if I have mixed emotions. I know that's silly, they're eyeshadows, but I love my eyeshadow palettes. Okay, this right here is a Atlantis by Face Candy, another brand that is no longer here. Look at this color story. Oh, so amazing. Now, I really do still reach for this one. As you see, it is another palette that is very well loved. These shades are definitely like more unique in my collection. The richness of them. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this one too. This one, the packaging does seem to be getting kind of beat up, but this is by Kiko Milano. Again, love it. 01 Earth Vibes. This is from their Fruit Explosion series. This is a beautiful travel size palette. These mattes pack quite a bit of a punch. The shimmers are stunning. I'll go ahead and link this video down below as well if you want to check it out. But I'm going to go ahead and keep this one. I love it. Love this palette. Let me see here. This one right here by Hip Dot, the Hello Kitty collaboration. I did get the full collection. I think this palette is so stinking cute. I love the colors of this. It's got all these beautiful different tones of pinks. This bright yellow. And then this shade. Now this is a beautiful shade. All these shimmers are really nice. Really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this one too. I don't reach for it that often, but once I start getting rid of some of these other ones, I think I'll be able to find palettes that I can just grab that I haven't seen because they have been buried. I have this little baby palette by Violet Voss. This is Pop of Coral. Of course, it does have the Pop of Coral. This is a really pretty neutral palette, but I have a lot of neutrals. Do I reach for this one more than others? No. So, it's time to part with this one. Go ahead and declutter that one. I do have this beautiful one from Lovecraft Beauty. This one right here is definitely staying in my collection. This is a small indie brand. And these are gorgeous. I'm keeping this one. I have this palette here by The Balm Day to Night palette. Shadows on the Go. This does have a black primer, 2 mattes, and then the rest are shimmers. This is a really pretty palette. I really do like their mattes. Their shimmers are very pretty as well. I'm not really a fan of this. It's kind of like really, really hard. I think this is going to go in my maybe pile right now. Because I really do like these, but I need room. This is going to go in the maybe pile. I have this one here by Bella Argent. This is a beautiful palette. Mauve tones, neutrals. This glitter is even really pretty. They're shimmers. If you're into some sparkly, yummy goodness, their brand is really good for that. Their mattes are good. I mean, I have no problems with this palette whatsoever. This is Plum Premonition. So I'm keeping this one. And I do have, this one is by Bella Argent as well. It is called Nude Intuitive Vision, excuse me. This, again, beautiful, stunning. I am keeping this one. All right, I do have like these 3 little baby palettes. Cella, hello, beautiful. This one I am going to go ahead and keep. I really do like these shades. So I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this one. Beautiful shimmers. The mattes are wonderful. So I'm going to go ahead and hold on to that. This one, I'm at a crossroad with this one because I don't think I have any more e.l.f. shadows. But this one, I don't know. This just kind of blends away on me. And then these just make a hell of a mess on my face. And I do have another like mint pastel-y palette that I adore. And I will definitely reach over this one. Oh boy. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. Yep. Let's do it. Get rid of it. I do have this one right here. City Chic palette. This one I have not even used yet. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it and see how I like it. I think it is a great little travel palette. I love these little ones. I think they're great. Like, super simple. Throw them in your purse and go stay the night somewhere. Great. ColourPop Limoncello. Now, this palette I have reached for over and over again. I am so drawn to this palette. The packaging of this is absolutely beautiful. It's weighted like it's super luxe. It's got a big mirror in it. And these shades, I am very drawn to these. Even though, I mean, for the most part, they are neutral. You got this pop of blue, which the blue is beautiful. But then you have these shades. These are so pretty. And I did actually just order the Avatar Last Airbender palette and a couple other goodies. So make sure you're subscribed for the review for that one. Now I'm getting tongue twisted and all the goodies stuff. Cool. Anyways, guys, make sure you subscribe. All right, moving on. I'm keeping this. I love it. So good. Highly recommend. Boom, bang. Good to go. Now we have the Powerpuff Girls and ColourPop. All right, I'm done. The packaging, I did keep this. Look how cute this is. So cute. It really is. Super adorable. Love the Powerpuff Girls. I love that they're collaborating with this stuff. Like, my money is going to you, ColourPop, because I cannot resist. I can't. This row right here, super bright, punchy. If you like color, this is a gorgeous palette. Especially if you want it like on the lower lash line or in the inner corner. Beautiful. These, again, super pretty. There's 2 pressed glitters, but they are very nice pressed glitters. So I am definitely keeping this guy. All right, I have this messy thing. I don't even know why it's so messy because I don't even use it. I have eyeshadow all over me. Okay. Doche, maybe. I don't know. This is Freematic Eyeshadow Pro Palette. This I don't reach for at all. I know I have used it. They're, I think, magnetic. I'm going to go ahead and keep this. Try to really reach for it this year. If I don't, I'm going to go ahead and declutter it. My next declutter. Violet Voss Windflower Fun Size. This is a really cute palette. I am keeping this. It's a great easy go-to palette. You don't have to think about it. Just put it together, put it on, and you're good. So I'm keeping this one. All right. I have this. It is ITTE, I don't know, SE, whoops, because I can spell too, obviously. This is a magnetic palette. The shades that actually came in here were this one, this one, this one, and I think this one, no. This one, no. I don't know. There was 4 of them that came in here, and then what I did is I took a lot of my singles, and I bought little pans, and I pressed them in, and made this a palette. What I think I'm going to do, because I do have a video coming up, you will see it. It's about affordable multi-chromes. And I don't want to give anything away. So right now I'm just going to keep this. Okay, cool. Just going to keep that guy. All right, moving on. I have this one right here from Natasha Denona. The Mini Zendo. Oops. I am keeping this. I did just do a haul video with this. So definitely going to go ahead and hold on to this one. I think it's gorgeous. Another one you don't have to think about. You just literally grab it. You know where the stuff goes. It blends amazing. Her quality is great. So definitely keeping that guy. I have this one right here by Orza Beauty, I believe. Again, it's another little 4-pan, a little quad. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this. I don't even think I've used this one yet either, but again, these are great just to throw in your purse if you're staying the night somewhere, so I'm going to hold on to this guy too. I have the Artemis palette from Alter Ego. This is another new palette to my collection. Absolutely stunning. Great quality. I am keeping this guy as well. And now I do have Kaleidos. This is the only Kaleidos palette that I own. If I can open it. This was so hard to get. I did finally get it on the 3rd launch. Look at this packaging. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. This is in collaboration with Angelica Nyquist, the Club Nebula palette. I will never get rid of this. Ever, ever, ever. Beautiful color story. Beautiful. You got some duochromes in here. This is just such a stunning palette. If you did not get this, I'm so sorry. Because, it's so good, guys. So good. My cat, this was up on the sink, and my cat jumped up there and knocked it down. So I do have like a nice little nick in this one and this one, but this isn't going anywhere. Never, never. Keeping. Now we are going to be getting into my smaller Juvia's Place palettes, which these probably aren't going anywhere, but hey, this is part of a collection video as well, so I do want to show you some of them, I guess. I don't know, maybe I might get rid of 1 or 2. Who knows? You never know. I have to let stuff go. I do. If I'm not using it, it needs to go. This isn't a Nomad. This is not going anywhere. This is a beautiful. I love this palette. I love how grungy it is. This isn't going anywhere. Staying? Definitely. The Nubian. This, again, it's not going anywhere. This is an everyday palette. Super beautiful. You can't go wrong with this palette. You just can't. So I'm keeping that one. Okay. I do have quite a bit of the 6-pan ones. This is the Bronze Rustic. This is beautiful. And this shade, you would think it would go patchy or something. No, it's stunning. Absolutely beautiful palette. Love this. Keeping it. This is my #1 used palette in these small 6-pans. This is the Nubian Royal. This palette, oh, it's so yummy. This pressed glitter I use all the time. All the time. This isn't going anywhere. This is beautiful. If you like purples, don't sleep on this one. So good. So good. I have the blushed rose palette right here. Again, stunning color story. I love it. These are so simple, but they pack such a punch, and they're gorgeous. Keeping. the berries. This one, no, I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it. I mean, I'm keeping it. Yep. And then the chocolates. This one, I really don't reach for this one, but again, I think this would be a great palette for some deep darkness. Sometimes I grab palettes that don't really have that kind of depth to them. And these two shades, I think, are amazing for that. So I think it would be more of a companion palette, but I am keeping it. I am. So maybe I lied. I'm keeping them all. Okay. And then I have two of their little quads. I have the Rebel Mints, which this is the one that I was talking about. This is why I'm getting rid of this one right here by e.l.f. I mean, hands down, this quality by Juvia's is way better than this one. This one does not get all over my face. This one does. You know, there's just, yeah. So keeping this one for sure. And then the Rebel Army. Beautiful. How deep this is. Oh, that is beautiful. And then this green. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes, keeping. Now going back to the Game Beauty, I am going to go ahead and just keep this. I am. This is beautiful. I'm keeping it. And then the Balm. Boy, I have had this for a while now. I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. I can do this. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. Alright, so far, guys, these are the palettes that I am getting rid of. Alright, guys, I have the Mercury Retrograde by Huda Beauty. This one, it's not going anywhere. It's a beautiful palette. I wish it had some kind of depth to it, because for the most part, all these shades are basically one-toned. So I wish it had some depth, but it's gorgeous. It's not going anywhere. And then I have my Natasha Denona. I do have 3 in this size. This is the Retro. None of these are going anywhere. This one, I'm still reaching for this like crazy. It's beautiful. Definitely my kind of tones. The Love Palette. Stunning. And then the one that I did have issues with, the Zendo. It is warming up to me. So, still kind of having some issues with some of these shades, but it's warming up to me. And I love this color story, so it's not going anywhere. So, keeping all 3 of those. Now, this drawer might be a little bit more difficult, but we need to be cutthroat here. I have 2 palettes by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I have the Riviera, which definitely is not going anywhere. This is a beautiful color story. I think it is absolutely great for like spring and summer. Granted, I'm not one of those people who like, oh, this is designated. No, I wear whatever I want when I want. Okay, and then the Subculture, beautiful color story. Keeping. I have the Zoeva Caramel Melange, I don't know. This one, I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. This just does not do it for me anymore. Before, when I first got it, I did reach for it a little bit, but no. I'm getting rid of it. Declutter. This one here by Peachy Queen. Okay, right here. This is why I bought it. Regular Nintendo was my jam. The color story, it's very, very unique. It really is. I don't reach for this a whole bunch, but this shade right here is really interesting. And they are pretty decent. You do have to build them up, but they're pretty decent shadows. For right now, I'm going to go ahead and keep this one. This one has been driving me nuts about what I'm going to do with it. The Urban Decay Cherry Palette. Now this one, The packaging alone was like, yes, buy me. Absolutely. I mean, that's beautiful packaging. But then you open it up and it's like, okay. Okay. Yes, this is beautiful. Is it all in frame? It's beautiful. But it just seems like no matter what looks I try to do with this, they kind of end up looking the same. Oh, boy. This is going to go into the maybe pile right now. The Revolution and Soph collaboration. If you don't know her, she is Soph Does Life, I believe, on YouTube. She's so beautiful. Anyways, my daughter got a hold of this palette like the day I got it, in the middle of doing a review on it. So that's why it looks the way it does. But this is a decent palette. The quality is pretty decent. The shimmers are really pretty. It's not like top of the, you know, like Natasha Denona, but it is pretty decent. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this. I have this right here by BH, Run Wild by Tina Young. This is a whole, you're probably not even going to be able to see all of this, but these are blushes. And I think this one is a bronzer. And then you have, sorry, the highlighters right here, and then these eyeshadows. I don't know what to do with this. The eyeshadows themselves, they're just not really a color story that I'm going to gravitate to. The blushes are very pigmented. The highlighters are pretty. I think it's time to declutter this one. I really do. It is very pretty, all in one. But because this just is not cohesive enough, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get rid of it. Declutter. The Wet n Wild Nautical Nonsense palette, SpongeBob. I'm keeping this. They have so many different textures in this. And like this green, I really like this. And like this shade right here, it is so buttery. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this guy. It does have some pressed glitters down here, but they're not that bad. If it will focus. Jeez, a whiz. Anyways, I am going to go ahead and keep this guy. Mora Beauty, Wild in Colors. This packaging is so darn pretty. I love how they do these palettes. These shades are pigmented. Affordable, super affordable, and beautiful. I am definitely keeping this guy. And then I have A Spell on You. Again, the packaging is so pretty. And I am keeping this guy as well. Look at this. This is so pretty. I'll go ahead and swatch so you can see. These are so pretty. Hip Dot. I told you, they were kind of all over the place. I have palettes like everywhere. They're not organized like they need to be. But this packaging, I really like this packaging. This color story, it is a rich color story. Their shadows are very pretty. They're easy to blend, very pigmented. I do reach for this. So, this is going to go in the maybe pile too. Another Alter Ego, the Shadow Kiss palette. I am keeping this. I did just get it. This is the dupe for the Natasha Denona Glam palette. Until I get those palettes, these are really good quality. So I'm definitely keeping this guy. And then we have another one by Bad Habit. This is the Athena palette. This is a dupe for a Huda palette. They really do know how to make shimmers, and their mattes, they're soft. So you do got to be very careful with those. But they are good. They're good. They're pigmented. Jeez, a whiz. This one's hard. You see, I mean, I love this palette. It's got some serious dips in it. I'm going to go ahead and keep it. I have the Glam Light Glam Donut. This packaging, I mean, it's huge. I'm not going to open it up because it's a pain in the butt to get out of here. And my nails are like, yeah, no. So it's colorful. It's beautiful. But I have Glamlight palettes that I love. And I love Glamlight. I do. They are like an amazing brand. It's all food related. So this one I am going to go ahead and declutter because I just don't reach for it. And you'll see why. Because I do have these colors in like their other palettes. So for that reason, this one, it is going to go. It's just too big. It is. It takes up so much room. I can do this. I can do this. We have the Queen palette by Eloise. Hope I said that correctly. This is gorgeous. It does have a lot of deeper tones, but these shadows are very buttery, very nice. And I do reach for this quite a bit. And like this shade right here, I love this. So I'm keeping it. I have this palette here from LA Girl, the Festy Bestie in Young, Wild, and Free. That's the color story right there. This isn't going anywhere. I did just purchase this. This is very good quality. I like it a lot. So these pans are like huge too. So keeping. All right, so now Glamlight. I do have the Michaela and Glamlight palette right here. This is so beautiful. It is a larger palette, but this is stunning. And Glamlight, they know how to do some shimmers. Oh, I reach for my Glamlight palettes so much. So they're not going anywhere. This is the other Glamlight palette. This is the Ice Cream Dream palette. Look how adorable. Okay. And of course, this one's not going anywhere either. Absolutely stunning. This does have like pastels and just so good. I'm doing terrible at wiping this stuff off, but oh, so good. So good. Keeping. This is the ABH Norvina Volume 4. And honestly, this isn't going to go anywhere. This is a very beautiful spring palette. It does have some pressed glitters, but I don't mind them at all. There are lid toppers and just... I pulled this out the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to pull this out more. So this isn't going anywhere. This one right here, Morphe in Avani Gray. This one, it is basically all mattes. Now these mattes are good. It does have 2 pressed glitters and then it's like 1 regular shimmer. That's a pressed glitter. Like this is, I think, the only actual shimmer there is. It's pretty. But the main reason why I got it is for these right here, these like cake liners. And they're kind of hard to use. It's probably because I'm not really giving them a chance, but I'm going to go ahead and keep... Jeez. No, I'm going to go ahead and keep this for right now. This does have some shades in it that I don't have anywhere else in my collection. Like these oranges, they're so pretty. And those are really pretty. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and keep it. I have 4 of the ColourPop larger palettes. This is Play It Jewel. This is a very, pretty color story. I've only used this like once or twice right now, but very pretty. Keeping it. I have Your Golden. And the packaging on these is really pretty. This is more of like a neutralist palette with some blues. Very pretty though. Keeping. It's a Mood, which this one does have like such cool packaging. It's like riveted. If I can open it. This one is the reason why I bought the collection. I did buy all 4 at once. And this was the other one, the Stone Cold Fox. Now, my daughter did get into this, and she is now up from her nap. But she got into this. My palettes don't look like this. So I am keeping this one though too. Now back to Juvia's Place. These are their little bit bigger palettes. This is the Walhalla 2. It's not going anywhere. It's absolutely stunning. It does have a multi-chrome up here. Super pretty. Anyways, it is more of like a blue palette, but it's beautiful. Keeping. I do have the Zulu, which this one's a maybe. We're just going to keep it with that. That's a maybe. This one, the Magic Mini. This isn't going anywhere. I absolutely adore this palette. This has some pretty unique shades in it as well. Like, it just does. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that guy. Beautiful. And then I have the Nubian 2, which I kind of wish that this one had the smaller pans like the regular Nubian. But it is a very beautiful color story. But I haven't reached for this in a long time. But, like, this green, oh my god, is that good. Okay. Nope, I was planning on decluttering. I'm just going to keep this one, for sure. I've decided to go ahead and keep this Hip Dot Zion one because it is pretty and I do reach for it. And then this one, I'm like still on the fence about it. I cannot make up my mind. So I'm going to keep it because I don't want to get rid of it and then be like, oh shit. You know? So I'm going to go ahead and keep it right now. And then I think I am going to declutter this. Oh my god. I just don't reach for it though. Oh shit. And then I do have like these shades in the Glam Light palette. So yes, I'm going to go ahead and declutter this guy. So in all, I am only getting rid of decluttering 4 palettes out of that section. But that's okay. There's more, guys. There's more. There's still some up on top of my dresser, my makeup thing. So let me go grab those. Alright guys, I have the Nabla Side by Side palette, which looks like this. It is absolutely beautiful. Not going anywhere. We have the Plain Jane Remastered, which looks like this. Still gonna do a video on this, so this isn't going anywhere. We have the ColourPop and Hocus Pocus Gather Round Sisters palette. Of course, not going anywhere. I did just do 2 hauls, so I will link those down below so you guys can check those out. They're not all newer palettes, but they are new to my collection. We have the Beauty Bay. These are like palettes that I truly couldn't even fit into my drawers. So that's what this one looks like. The Wilderness palette by Beauty Bay. I don't know why it's not focusing. There we go. And then we have all these little guys that I still need to do a video on by Essence. We have Coral Me Maybe, which looks like this. We have Dancing Green, which looks like this, and I just dug my nail into it. Ice Ice Baby, which looks like this. And then I like to Mauve It, which looks like this. Sorry, guys. My daughter's up and I'm like trying to play keep away right now. So those little palettes. And then I have the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette, which looks like this. And of course, it smells absolutely stunning. So, okay, guys. Let me add up everything. Because, I mean, I have palettes like everywhere right now. So let me add everything up real quick. And I will get back to you. Alright, guys. I'm keeping... I'm going to leave it up here on the screen. Because I'm going to go ahead and count them. And the final number of what I'm keeping will be right around in here somewhere. But that is it for today's video, guys. Okay. There are palettes everywhere. And I'm pretty satisfied. I really am. So... make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and make sure you're subscribed before you leave. And now I get to put away all these. Make sure you check out my haul videos that I've recently posted, and make sure you check out my Mercari or Poshmark, wherever I'll be posting these. Everything will be down below. All right, guys. You guys have a safe one. Bye.